What's up, my comic comrades? Today we start covering the Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe One Last Time series. That's right, Deadpool is at it yet again, out to kill the Marvel Universe. And the kicker is, it's written by Cullen Bunn, the writer of the original Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. The question is, why is Deadpool out to kill the Marvel Universe once more, and what Marvel Universe is it? Well, let's dive in and find out. Also, if you dig the channel and haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Variant Nation. And don't forget to join the conversation down in the comments after the show. It's always great to hear from you guys. Alright, so the issue opens up on the Earth of Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool, aka Dreadpool. Captions say Earth, only one that has fallen thanks to the efforts of just one man, as we see Deadpool on his Earth after killing the entire universe. Deadpool says to himself, look at what you've done. You killed them, all of them. A voice then says, I thought you were supposed to be a jokester. Go ahead, say something funny. As we see it's Nithman, the ultimate ninja. He starts firing his gun at Deadpool, and the two start fighting as Nithman says, Master Assassin, unstoppable healing factor, killer of worlds, I've heard all about you. But I'm not impressed, funny man, and just when he thinks he's getting the upper hand on Deadpool, Deadpool stabs him in the head, killing him. When Deadpool stands up, he hears someone clapping for him. It's a woman who says, well, that was something special. And can I just say, I'm a big fan, really, massive. She goes over and pulls the sword out of his chest that Nithman stabbed him with and tells him, name's Alfie. He says, he worked for you, huh? You sent that guy, didn't you? To test me. She replies, well, yeah, I had to make sure you were up to the task I have for you. He then tells her, pass. She then hits a device on her wrist saying, what? Come on, you haven't even heard my offer yet. We should discuss this in my office, as the device on her wrist takes them into the multiverse. She then brings him to another world where she says, so, as I was saying, you and me, we have a lot of work to do. Some very important work. Deadpool tells her, I gave you my answer. Pass. She then tells him, don't tell me you aren't curious. Don't tell me you don't want to know what Destiny has in store for you. He responds, I've got a pretty good idea about what Destiny wants with me. I already paid the tab. She says, wait, don't turn around, all right? Just hear me out. He says, no thanks, don't want to hear it. There's only one thing in the entire universe that I want, and you can't give it to me. As he turns around seeing a sea of Deadpools, he says, look at all those dead Deadpools. She tells him, yeah, so the audition process has been a little brutal. He tells her, I'm in. She says, just like that? That's great. Just great. We're gonna make a great team, you and me. Together, we're gonna put an end to... Deadpool then interrupts saying, just tell me who you want me to kill. She then holds up another device like the one on her wrist saying, you're a get right to it kind of Deadpool. I can appreciate that. Well, you're gonna need one of these. It will allow you to reality slide to almost anywhere in the multiverse. Deadpool asks, almost? She says, some paths are not meant to be traversed. Not only will it keep you in touch with me and beam you whatever ordinance you might require, but it's synced to the multiverse biometrics of your targets. Your kill list, so to speak. Every last one of them, whether they know it or not, poses a threat to all reality. Deadpool just tells her, well, let's get on with it. On the next panel, they're taken to an Earth where Superior Spider-Man reigns supreme. And as Alfie watches Deadpool aim a shot at Superior Spider-Man, she says, you're a lot less mouthy than most of your counterparts. They'd like to crack jokes, to quip, to make pop culture references. You're more broody, you know? He answers her, look where all those quips got him. Now, for those of us who have read the original Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, you know why this is. And that's because in that story, Deadpool's brain gets messed with by a twisted version of Psycho Man who tries to dial down his craziness in order to turn him into a more focused killer. But instead, it backfires and Deadpool snaps, turning him into a cold, emotionless, super deadly version of himself. Now, when you read stories like this, there are always moments where you wish you could change little things here and there, which is why I guess so many of us are fans of immersive gaming. Like this amazing fantasy game right here, where you get to build a huge arsenal of champions to battle intense villains. I'm talking about Raid Shadow Legends, and in a sec, we'll show you how to land epic champions and other dope bonuses totally free. For starters, Raid, who we're excited to have as today's sponsor, basically has an endless amount of content. We've been playing for years, and they are just constantly adding something new to keep things fresh and fun. And I mean new champions, new battle arenas, bigger, badder bosses, and even whole new factions. But it's the lore that locks you in. Take the mysterious Sylvan Watchers faction, for example. Here's a faction who make their home in the Mist Wood, a huge jungle in the east of Teleria, which is the world Raid is set in. They don't take kindly to trespassers, but they do have a shared alliance with the Shadowkin and Dwarf factions. And I gotta tell you, the Sylvan Watchers and Shadowkin have some of my favorite characters in the entire game. The Sylvan are highly connected to nature and use that as their strength, with a couple of standout champions from that faction being Nice the Shadow Thief and King Galgabar, both of which are crazy powerful. As for the Shadowkin, they are essentially a fantasy version of samurai warriors, which is as cool as it sounds. And my go-to champions for that faction are Jintoro and Lady Makash. That's a great attack and support combo right there. Now, as promised, we've got info on those freebies. All you gotta do is click our link in the description or scan our QR code to get anniversary bonuses available only via our link. First, you'll get a huge starter pack including the epic champion Kellan the Shrike from the Sylvan Watchers faction. But you'll get another starter pack after reaching level 15 that will unlock the epic champion Uugo from the Organ Tribes faction, one of the most valuable champions in the game. And as a cherry on top, after downloading with our link, all new players will also get the legendary champion Green Warden Ruark from the Sylvan Watchers faction by using the special promo code TreeHugger. Again, that's only for new players and they'll be available 72 hours after downloading via our custom link in the description or QR on the screen only. However, both new and existing players can snag other useful resources by using the 2 additional promo codes for all users in the description. And once you're in game, come join our clan under the name Variant Nation and we'll see you there. Anyway, jumping back to Deadpool, on the next page we see him open fire on Superior Spider-Man, but he dodges. Deadpool then tells Alfie, get his attention, draw him in close. I know how to kill Spider-Man. But Superior Spider-Man says, I assure you, you pitiful buffoon, you know nothing about me. I, on the other hand, know a thing or two about slaying my enemies. He starts attacking Deadpool as Deadpool says, you're different, you're not like my Spider-Man. Spider-Man replies, whichever Spider-Man you expected, I am superior. Alfie then tells Deadpool, in this world, Dr. Otto Octavius, Dr. Octopus, switch bodies with Spider-Man. He's used his powers and vast intellect to change the course of scientific history and to eliminate anyone who stood in his way. Deadpool, while fighting Superior Spider-Man, says, evil Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man says, evil, ruthless, unrelenting, of course, but I wouldn't go so far as to say evil. I simply saw an opportunity and I took it. You though, I know you. Deadpool, the lovable, talkative idiot. Strange. I was certain I killed you once already. Let's rectify the situation. A repeat performance, perhaps? Is that why you've returned? As he throws Deadpool off the top of the building, Superior Spider-Man swings away saying, my spider sense is still warning me of danger. My base instincts have yet to catch up with my victory. You pose no, as we see Deadpool is able to plant an explosive on Spider-Man, which blows up. Spider-Man's body parts then come raining down on top of Deadpool, and Alfie says, the old stick an explosive on the enemy when he's beating the snot out of you technique. Not bad. Not bad at all. You had me worried for a second there. Deadpool says, I need a new mask, as we see his eyeball hanging outside of his face. Alfie says, I'll say, maybe you want to take a little bit of a breather. He says, no time, this list isn't going to kill itself. We then see him go to a world where he has to kill an undead Punisher. He also goes to a world where he has to kill the daughter of Kraven the Hunter and the Beast, a demon-possessed Daredevil. We see Deadpool kill each one of them, starting with the Punisher, as he says, maybe you will tear my head off, Frank, maybe, but not by yourself. You're gonna need someone to give you a hand, as he pulls out all the Frankenstein-like contraptions and tubes keeping him alive. He then kills Kraven the Hunter's daughter by stabbing her in the torso, and kills the Beast's Daredevil by stabbing him in the eye with seemingly his own horn. But after he kills those 3, he makes his way to yet another world to kill yet another person. He laughs at himself for telling the Beast Daredevil, you've got something in your eye, before stabbing him in the eye. He tells himself, I liked it. That was a good one. A classic. A voice then says, not our best work, and Deadpool replies, whoa, cut us some slack. We've been out of the snarky one-liner game for a bit. The voice says, I know. I was there for the entire Mope Fest. Deadpool says, you're gonna need someone to give you a hand though. You have to admit, that was gold, because I cut off his hands. Basically, we see Deadpool's humor and traditional personality is starting to come back. This means it seems as if Psycho Man's effects on Deadpool are finally starting to wear off. Deadpool even asks his sense of humor, where have you been? It answers, you had us in timeout, but a mechanical spider bite through the brain woke us right up. So it seems like Superior Spider-Man's mechanical spider bite through the brain reversed the effects of what Psycho Man did to him. On the next page, we see Deadpool has come to fight World War Hulk, as Hulk asks, where did you come from, Deadpool? You're dead. There's no way you could heal back from what I did to you. Deadpool says, only time can heal a broken heart. Hulk then throws his axe at him, but Deadpool dodges, saying, sorry, big guy, somebody out there in the multiverse doesn't like you very much. So we're about to spew gamma all over the street. Hulk is able to pick up Deadpool by the arm, saying, the heroes of this world took everything from me, so I took the world from them. But it isn't enough. I'm gonna keep smashing until there's nothing left. Nothing but dust floating in space. As he picks up his axe to kill Deadpool. The device on Deadpool's arm flashes, and when the flash clears, Hulk is gone, with Deadpool saying, he's gone? He just vanished. Where did he go? Deadpool then transports himself to another reality where he says, let's keep on chasing that sweet death wish of ours. Deadpool is then taken to a world where the Avengers are fighting a massive threat. Deadpool says to himself, what in the name of Golden Age superheroes? Alfie appears via a hologram saying, your reality slider is damaged. That tends to happen when you're brawling with the Hulk. You're in the wrong time and place. You're in reality 616 to be exact. Deadpool says, I was starting to think my targets weren't like the heroes from my world. The heroes Alfie says, you've got it all wrong. This universe isn't on your list. You're not supposed to kill this universe, you're supposed to save it. Deadpool asks, say what now? Meaning that Deadpool that killed his Marvel universe has been recruited to save the 616 Marvel universe. But with that reveal, let's jump into issue 2. The issue starts off with Deadpool fighting a doppelganger Venom, saying, "This is not the Venom I know." The voice in his head says, "It's some sort of doppelganger Venom." Deadpool replies, "Sounds like a dirty word." The voice says, "I know what I'm about." As Deadpool continues to fight this version of Venom, he says these targets, SpiderMan, Venom, the Hulk, all of them, they're wrong. They're twisted versions of the heroes and villains I knew. The heroes and villains we killed. Deadpool then starts pumping lead into Venom, but Venom ultimately throws him back. The voice in Deadpool's head says, "You're wasting ammo. The symbiote is absorbing the bullets or healing the host as fast as you shoot." But Deadpool's not aiming at Venom this time. As we see on the next page, he's shooting at a car to blow it up, because as he says, symbiotes don't like fire. As Venom starts coming off the doppelganger, Deadpool then shoots the doppelganger in the head, killing him. He then asks, "Who's next?" As Alfie, the woman who put him on all these assignments, appears saying, "Don't be so eager. I know you've got the whole death wish thing going on, but the job's not done, and it won't be getting easier." Deadpool replies, "Right, I'm on a quest for redemption. Is that it, Alfie? Every name I mark off my list helps to save a universe, but not mine." Alfie tells him, "Not much I can do about that. Your universe is a lost cause, and the targets on your kill list are only going to get bigger and badder." As Deadpool looks for something under a car, she asks, "What are you looking for?" He tells her, "It's like I said, the opposition is going to get tougher to handle. I need to start leveling up. So what am I looking for? Backup." As he finds the Venom symbiote under the car and bonds with it, he's then taken to an alternate version of Wakanda, where the Black Panther is Killmonger. The Dora Milaje tell him someone has gotten past our walls by using some sort of multiversal transportation device to enter the city. We were fortunate to have detected him at all. Your Majesty, reports claim it is Deadpool. Killmonger then says, "Deadpool? Impossible. When Wakanda began its conquest of the rest of the globe, Deadpool was one of the first heroes to die. I slaughtered him myself." Killmonger goes on to say, "When he is found, I want him captured alive. Have him brought before me. I want to look into the eyes of this imposter." At which point, he is stabbed through the back of the head by one of the Dora Milaje. But it's not one of the Dora Milaje, as it turns out, but in fact Deadpool in disguise saying, "My symbiote's gift for camouflage helped me get right into the kill zone." Deadpool then makes his way across other universes, killing a demon-riddled Hellcat, a vampire Union Jack, a Shadow Knight, and an evil Black Widow, and so on and so forth. As captions say, somebody has big stinky plans for these nasty jerks in the multiverse. The kind of plans that make the powers that be sit up and notice. They're gathering the worst versions of heroes and villains from the worst possible timelines. And I need to stop them before they mark all the names off their list. Only saving someone else's universe. That's not my style. I only agreed to this little mission because it seemed like a sufficient way to get myself ganked. I ruined one world, what do I care if somebody else ruins another? Every world I visit, though, is worse off than the one I left before. All because of the targets I'm tracking down. That's the real tough trick, you know? Trying to convince me that I might be making a difference and I don't like being manipulated. As Alfie tells Deadpool, well, who does? Let's not overlook the important question though. Did it work? Deadpool looks down saying, I haven't decided yet. As the voice in his head says, haven't we? As we then see Deadpool standing in a city taken over by Hydra. Moments later, Hydra Supreme arrives yelling at Deadpool saying, whoever you are, whatever you want, you've made a crucial mistake coming here. Tonight of all nights. As we see Deadpool has just killed several Hydra agents. The reason Hydra Supreme said he made a grave mistake coming here tonight of all nights is because this version of Hydra Supreme is also Cap-Wolf, as he turns into a werewolf. Deadpool then tells him, Hydra Cap, werewolves of fascism. Deadpool then starts repeatedly stabbing Cap-Wolf over and over with his sword, but the voice in his head says, that's not gonna work. You need silver bullets to kill Cap-Wolf. Cap-Wolf then bites him, but Deadpool just keeps stabbing him over and over with his swords, as his voice in his head says, you can't keep trying the same things. You need Wolfsbane, silver, but Deadpool just says, I know what I'm doing, as he throws Cap-Wolf into the propeller of the helicarrier they're on top of. At this point, Alfie arrives saying, problem? Deadpool tells her, just one of those little on-the-job headaches. She replies, like werewolf bites? He says, nah, healing factor won't let me become a werewolf. Too bad, might have been cool. Alfie then looks at the chopped up werewolf in disgust, while Deadpool says, you hired me to kill dozens of super types. That kind of work gets a little messy. Nice thing about the symbiote, you won't even need to replace my suit again. I'll just patch up the rips and tears with the alien goo. As he takes Hydra Supreme's shield. He says, might need to restock on weapons though. ammo, a new sword or two, maybe silver this time. As he's saying this, a ton of Hydra soldiers start coming out of the helicarrier towards Deadpool. Deadpool tells Alfie, "I'll be along in a few." She says, "They aren't on the list." He goes, "I know, this is just for fun. Work-life balance is important." As he starts dismembering Hydra soldiers. After he releases some stress by killing some Hydra, he meets back up with Alfie, who says, "Your ordnance as requested. You're gonna need it." Deadpool opens the box saying somebody is collecting all these variants. Who is it? This person is gathering up all these people. What's their endgame? And why don't I just go after them directly? She says she's called Flux Paradoxica. You're not going after her directly because she, well, I don't know if you could say she'd kill you, but you most certainly wouldn't exist any longer. He replies, "Sounds like a party." She tells him, "With you dead, there's no one to stop her. She'll continue building her collection, creating her own universe, filling it with the worst of the worst. When she's done, she's going to set off an incursion, unleashing the horrors she's created on one innocent universe, and then another, and another." Then on the last page of the issue, we see Deadpool walk up to the gates of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters as he says, "Yeah, well, sounds like I'd better punch the clock." And just like that, the issue comes to an end. I'm really digging that in the sequel of Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, he's now being tasked with killing alternate heroes and villains across the multiverse to save the Marvel Universe. So he's doing all the killing, but this time to save and not just slaughter. The cool thing is it seems to be giving Deadpool purpose. As he full on said, "Someone's trying to convince me that I might be making a difference." And it seems to be working because he is actually making a difference. So even though this is an action-packed fun story, it does have a cool arc for Deadpool. But what do you guys think? Are you liking this series as much as we are? Let us know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to use our Raid Shadow Legends link in the description or scan our QR code to get those dope new player bonuses, including 2 epic champions. Other than that, we'll see you next time when we talk about all things comics.